Hello, and welcome to the Level 6 Media and Communications 2023 Showcase. Thank you. Um, that's a mouthful. So, I hope you all found it okay to get here. Some of you may be students or ex-students, so you know your way here. I heard there were strikes, and I didn't take that into account when doing the time, so I'm sorry if you struggled. I'm your host, Rhys. So for the past 3 years, we've all learnt a lot. Hopefully, um, we've all we've all grown as individuals, as creatives, and as a group. And we've learnt a lot about ourselves as well, who we are, what we like, what we dislike, what we want to do, what we want to not do in the future. And that's what this evening is about, really. You get to see all of that. For the past 3 months, we've been working on final major projects. I call them FMPs. It didn't catch on. I'm the only one that calls them that. But throughout these showings, as I call them, you will laugh, you will cry, you might feel a little bit triggered, which is good if it makes you want to do something about it. It's a good thing. And in between each showing, we're going to show you clips that allow you to get to know us as individuals or us as a group a little bit more. And hopefully it take you on a little bit of a journey tonight. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking now and get on with it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
So guys, here we are again. Again, they doesn't even matter, but it's trial and error. But
Part two.
so I guess this time we'll start off by saying, um, how did you think this course was going to go when you initially enrolled? Okay, fine, I'll start.
Yes, thank you.
um, I was very nervous, so I thought the thought of university for me, I was thinking lecture halls, hundreds of people in it, laptops out, assignments, essays. I mean, I knew you wasn't doing exams, so that's honestly why I picked this uni, because I didn't want to sit in an exam hall and do any of that. But but we were in COVID, isn't it? So that's why I didn't really know how it was really gonna go, and we started doing online and stuff. But before we even started, I genuinely didn't know. But Andy Fox made it very, very easy for me to settle in personally, because he just made it feel more like less of a lecture room or like lessons, more of just, I don't know how to explain. He just made it feel more fun, more interesting, more engaging. So that's, yeah, I didn't know what to expect because of COVID, but when the ball went rolling, and I thought this is gonna be a walk initially, kind of, but it wasn't.
If I can just interrupt.
Of course.
For me, basically, it was more practical than I thought because all my friends were saying, "Oh, you chose the wrong course. You shouldn't have followed my previous teacher's advice." Because he's the reason why I chose this course. He inspired me, and for my surprise, it was a lot more practical. I learned how to use cameras, use the audios, learn how to edit. A lot of things, and I appreciate that.
Mhm. I think for me, I thought I didn't know anything because this wasn't my choice. This was my sister's choice. I was actually forced to come to UWL, and so I was like, okay, they accepted me. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. They do media, so I thought I'm gonna come here shooting, presenting because that's what I want to do. But then COVID hits and it's Zoom. But like how you had your Andy, I had mine was Charlie because his class made me always so happy. Even though it was learning, it was just how he taught. There's a way I understand teachers, and but how he taught, I understood it perfectly. And at first, I was sad because like, okay, I want to go work with cameras. I want to do this, but then over time, after COVID, I actually got this TV studio, the radio studio, and I'm very very happy COVID happens because during COVID we got more of the more talking. Then after COVID, we realized that we got more practicals. Yeah, we had still had the talking aspect, but we really were hands on. So in a way, it's like what I expected wasn't the same, but I'm also still glad about the outcome. So yeah.
For me, I did choose this course because improve my sound ability. And as you said, yeah, COVID happened first year. We didn't do that much, and then for second year we had Simon. He improved, I think, my sound abilities, and then I'm so glad. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was expecting or what I thought before we started. I think, well, I know why I chose this course. It was because I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do, and this was like the broadest one. Like you get a bit of everything. But I guess the only thing I did expect was our course to be bigger. So obviously ending up with only 5 people was not what I expected. But yeah, I like it.
Well, yeah, I'm glad we're only 5 or 4 plus, or 5 in general, because I don't know. I can't imagine us having a class of 20 students, like, or 15. Like, I don't know. Even when we did have, we'd merge with the journalism students or any other branch, we'd always keep to ourselves. Like, when I actually noticed those things, we had other branches, but all of us would still, like, kind of stay next to each other. When it's group work, we'll try and be in the same groups because we only knew each other. So it's like, I wish we had more when it came to filming in the TV studio, and you'd hear, oh, this course is for 15, but don't worry, you guys are 5, but we'll make it work with you. And it's like, more stress, but as well, it's also like a bonding experience that makes you really appreciate who is in your class. It's like, okay, I have a problem, Liisbet can definitely help me because,
To be fair, I can't imagine this, like, us having more than 5 of us in this studio, or even in the radio studio. The radio studio is not big.
It's not
So
that big.
having like, we had a few interventions, you can call them, with Susie this year when she invited her other second years, I think first years, they might have been, and that guy that came in, if you guys remember him, and the whole radio studio was just packed, and not for
missed
me.
that class.
Yeah, we got lucky.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Hello, hello. Is it working? It's working. Okay, hi. So I'm Liisbet, as you can see. First of all, thank you everybody who came here tonight. We appreciate you taking the time to come here and support us. It means a lot, for real. So for my major project, I made a documentary about cats. Now, anyone who knows me at all, that does not come as a surprise because everybody knows I love cats. So obviously they're like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's of course what you did. But actually the decision or the idea to make that documentary didn't come as easily. And I thought tonight I could maybe share the story of how the idea came to be, because I think it's very interesting how randomly or like out of nowhere seemingly ideas can come to you sometimes. So I remember back in November when we started the idealization process, I always struggle with that word, for our major projects. And in our class with Susie, we wrote so basically the exercise was writing down what we wanted to make for our major project, but we like not think about it. So like subconsciously, it should come out what you want to make, if that makes sense. So when I wrote mine, it came out from all my writings that I wanted whatever I make to be of educational value, and I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted it to have some kind of an educational value and maybe a call for action in the project. So that just came out from what I wrote. I still didn't know what the idea was going to be, but that seemed to be what I wanted to do. So I just sat there with that knowledge for a while. And then I remember one random class we had with Susie, and she was telling us a story of how her cat went to a vet, but the vet happened to be at an animal shelter. So she went to a shelter, and she was telling us how she felt, like how she just felt uncomfortable being at that shelter, because obviously you go there, you see all the cats who are there without homes and without love, and you just find it so unfair that you have that cat at home that lives this luxurious life and is so loved and cared for, and then at the shelter there's all those cats suffering. And I really related to that story because in 2021 I also volunteered at an animal shelter, and I remember feeling the exact same way, having my cat at home, living this luxury life, and then seeing all those animals who clearly don't have that. So, and I remember when I was volunteering there and seeing those animals, I felt like I wanted to do something to help. Well, clearly I was volunteering, but I felt like I wanted to do more, because there's only so much you can do by volunteering. Like, I wanted to take it further, I wanted to do more, but back then I didn't know what it was. So when we were talking about this, I don't remember if it was Susie's idea or my idea, but one of us said, why don't you make your major project about that? And that was the moment I knew. I was like, yep, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I didn't know how, I didn't know what exactly that moment, but I knew, yeah, that was what I was gonna do. I could tell you about the process of how it came to be and how, as late as in April, I was Googling how to write a dissertation because I thought this was never gonna happen, but I won't get into that. Instead, I'm gonna let you watch a little shortened down version of the documentary. If anyone, after seeing this, is interested in the full version, then you can come find me after the showcase and I'll share you the link to the full-length one, but this is just a little taster. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
Record numbers of animal charities and rescue centres are bursting at the seams.
There's a desperate need for fosters and adopters at LA Animal Shelter.
Rescue shelters are feeling the pressure these days. Too many potential pets, not enough people adopting them.
Animal shelters across Sydney are overflowing with cats and dogs abandoned after COVID.
Huntsville Animal Services has stopped taking in cats until December 5th. The shelter overcrowded and searching for people to help.
Due to the sensitive subject matter of this documentary, it was difficult to get responses from shelters. After months of reaching out to shelters and people, I finally got a response from Jo, who's a fosterer for the RSPCA. She was kindly ready to share her stories and views about fostering.
Why do you think there are so many homeless cats?
It's gonna go on the up and up with the cost of living increase. I think a lot of people somehow think a cat can fend for itself, a normal cat. Now feral cats, yes, feral cats will get on with it. It's a tough life, they die young, but a normal cat, a cat that's been used to living in a house and stuff like that, they can't.
What is the tell sign that someone is a good fit for the cat, or what is like a immediate like no?
I normally can tell on the phone. So I chat to them on the phone first and stuff like that. And what I'm always looking for is somebody who wants to put the cat's best interests first. So as I say, I often work with the difficult ones, the ones that are nervy, the ones that are shy. And I look for people who know instinctively what they're going to need to do.
We have a lot of nice little animals on the table here. Maybe we can start off by you explaining what they are and yeah.
Well, I think I just got bored one day and made some toys for my own cats. And then I sort of figured that they could be sold, you know, at our fairs and stuff. So eventually that's what will happen. But mostly they go with the foster cats as gifts, you know, Christmas presents to your cat friends.
How long do you usually keep them when they come to you?
See, that really depends. You know, like Effo, normally, if she hadn't been pregnant, she would have been here maybe 2 or 3 weeks. You know, we would have had the vet check, would have had a spit, and she would have been snapped up. She's still quite a young cat. I would have said probably about 12 months. So she would have been here a short period. Turning out to be pregnant, of course, you're going to be here 3-4 months longer.
What would you say to anyone who's thinking about wanting or thinking about getting a cat? What would you say they need to think about?
Gosh, I'll probably give them an hour sermon about what is needed, how much it costs, how much vet fees are, you know, quotation, broken leg, 3.5 grand. Annual vaccinations, probably about 150. Another 200 quid for flea and worm treatments, food costing. Well, it depends on how fussy your cat is and what they eat, but it can cost hundreds, literally hundreds of pounds a month. And really, I probably would almost try and put them off to get them safe. But I really want that cat. And yes, I've got that money. You know, I'd want them to think that through, really.
So how do you deal with letting them go?
Cry. Yeah, it's thinking of the good sides. So Artemis was probably one of the hardest ones for me because I spent almost every half an hour or an hour just getting her to sniff my finger and then to stroke her, and it took about 4 or 5 months to actually be able to stroke her and her enjoying it. So it was a lot of time, a lot of hard work getting her to that point, and then when she went, I was really upset, but I know that she will eventually get to a loving home and she will eventually be loved and want the love.
Do you also find that people are much more likely to go for kittens?
I think kittens are just generally more playful, and probably as well because they're easier to almost mould into the cat that the owners want. Whereas obviously the adult cats, depending on their past life, it'll be harder for them to be as loving as they want them to be, I guess.
So my name is Angela Rafuse, and I run a charity called My Grandfather's Cat. We help seniors and terminally ill people find homes for their pets before they move into retirement homes or pass away. I started it on May 18th, 2021, which is my grandfather's birthday. And I wanted to do something to help because I never wanted anybody to worry about what will happen to their pets when they pass away, like my grandfather did. We really preach that we call it a second forever home, because when you adopt an animal, you're making a commitment for the next however many years of their lives, in my opinion. Where I go, that animal goes. What decisions I make, I have to make for the animal too. Like, I adopted our second adoptable, Bo. He's 15 years old. He's going to be 16 in June. I was actually in a relationship where that person got a job in Maine, and he moved to Maine, and there's no world that Bo could do a 9-hour drive. So I ended my relationship because of, there were other factors, but the main one was Bo. That's the commitment I made to him. Now, sure, I could have rehomed him, but I made a commitment to him as part of, like, I'm gonna be your human up until my very last day, or yours, whatever comes first. So it's sad that sometimes you have to give up opportunities, but you have to take that into consideration when you choose to take an animal and adopt them. There is a level of educating people, but there's only so much you can do if somebody sees an animal like that to teach them otherwise.
I think it's the same people that don't respect human lives, that don't expect animal lives. Just saying, in background, I actually work at human rights. And I investigate cases of abuse. And to me, the same characteristics are about in people who abuse humans and who may be rude and disregarding of an animal in their path. And there would be the same with humans.
Well, it's so like little Freya. She was being sold on Gumtree, and when I went to go and pick her up and stuff like that, an unneutered mum who just had a litter, the guy was selling them off for 50 quid each. So for him, that was, it was a nice income. So he just waits until mom gets pregnant again, which will be very soon after she's, those hormones come straight back in. And then he can make another couple of hundred quid. It just keeps them in the shed. For other people, they just think, oh, a shelter will take them. Everybody loves kittens. Or they give them to friends and stuff like that without vetting the homes properly. And it's like, these are... But yeah, it's exactly as you say. Some people just don't value animal lives much at all. I mean, it used to be a history of people drowning cats. It's... Oh, people do my head in.
Thankfully, we have people like Joe, Barbara, Fiona, Craig, and Angela, who have made it their goal in this life to help as many of these cats as possible. There is a possibility of getting the numbers of homeless cats under control. There is still a lot of educational work to be done in society. Some people will never learn, but some people's minds can be changed. So what would be the best way for someone to help?
Anyway, it's the best way. First of all, look after your animals. Spay, neuter, chip your animals. Look after your own animals first. I think that's what I would say. And then people can help. If they want to have a new animal, adopt your animal. If you can't have an animal, you might be able to foster an animal.
What keeps you doing this? What keeps you continuing? What motivates you to do it?
Apart from the never-ending supply available of cats to foster, we're full constantly. And we've got a spreadsheet which says, right, so-and-so cat will be picked up on so-and-so date. Then Alison will say, do you need a break? Don't you need a break? No, I'm fine, bring the next one in. Because some cats are so crazy that you do need a break. And every cat's different. So it's almost like having a new person in your life, having a new personality just to get to know and interact. And for me, it's just so rewarding, especially, like the two that are upstairs. When they come round, when they start to come round, that is just the best feeling in the world.
I love them. I love my cats. That's it. You know what I mean?
I think it's like the reward, knowing that we've taken a cat from almost the gutters sometimes, from the lowest of the low, and then we've shown them that there can be a loving home, there will be loving people out there, and then giving them to their forever home. So it's quite a nice feeling, really. It's quite rewarding.
I think you touched on working with journalism class and stuff like that. I wanted to ask, what didn't we do that you wish we did over the past 3 years? Or what didn't we do enough of that you wish we did more of over the past 3 years?
Oh, I think I have one. I wish, when we did second year, we had Deidre, and we had the TV production, live production, that presenting one. I wish we did more of that. That's just me, because that's my, that's what passion. I want to do. That's my passion. So I loved how we got to understand, like, when you have a mic in your ear and like somebody is talking to you, how like it was. I didn't understand how hard it actually was until you, and it's good to learn. And I wish we just got more of doing that instead of just for one project. You know, we got the full experience for one project. So that's really all.
Yeah, I wish we had more classes on Adobe Premiere because we didn't do that much editing. Yeah.
It was quite independent, the editing. It was
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
you film,
Yeah.
and you go edit. Yeah, I hear you mean.
We didn't do that as a group, you know.
Well, I think because in the first year, what in the school always did in the first year was they would send us Adobe Premiere and send us videos on how.
And we didn't have
but
any clue
I
about
think I understand from it is you can't just, if you show a video on how to do something, it's fine. But we never really had the sit down in class editing workshop. I think so. I so wish we had that as well, which we didn't.
So do you want to go?
Yeah, no, you go.
For me, even though we had a lot of practical work, like I said before, I think having a session or a module where we just work as a group to complete one assignment would be best. And what I mean by that is, in my friend's film school, all of them pitch an idea, and the best one gets voted, and everyone has to work on that movie basically, where we all get particular roles like marketing, filming, director, cameraman, all that kind of stuff, and it increases our skills. And they do it quite frequently. And I feel like even though we did do a lot of filming and planning and all that kind of stuff, we did it kind of separately, isolated. We didn't really work as a team. Because in the film industry or TV or any media landscape, you're working as a team. It's not always by yourself, But that's just me.
Yeah, true. I mean, I agree with all of the points you've made, but I can't really think of anything that we wish we would have done that we didn't do.
For me, I would say working with other courses, because we worked with the journalism course, or I think in the first year for podcasting module, we did that. Yeah, we did that a lot. And obviously with Christians, I enjoyed that one as well, because I feel like just working with other people, it changes the dynamic, and it's kind of refreshing. Not that there's anything wrong with working with you guys 24/7. I love working with you guys, but man, no, I'm joking. But just seeing a new face, I enjoyed probably when we started a new module and we had a new lecturer. It was just kind of just something different, because it's just refreshing, isn't it? I like working with people, so that's one thing I wish we could have done more of, because we did a little bit.
Actually, yeah, I think because we're only 4, so when you have a new course and you're able to see other people, that's not just, again, we love all you guys, like Rohan said, but it's not the same faces. We're able to see other students, and it's different when you're able to work with people you normally do not work with every single day. It's just there's a different feeling. So yeah, if the class for future is if they're gonna be smaller classes like us, more hands-on experience with other students, because I feel like we're very isolated. We are very isolated if you think about it. We don't do freshers. There's no uni and popping things. It's just us. If we're not talking about school or something related to school, we don't really have anything really else, and we try our best. But I think because we're just so small and we don't have other uni people to talk to. So yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to our graduation show. First of all, I want to say big thanks to Susie, Marcus and Sarah who helped me through this major project. My major project is about audio documentary and about a protest which happened in my country, Iran. It has 2 main characters. They both lost their sons during this protest. One of them 4 years ago and the other one just a few months ago. At the end of this piece, you will hear some names who are murdered by this government. I know this is a sad documentary, but I hope you enjoy it.
مادرم نیستی ببینی که دیگه چقدر پیر شدم. پسرم نیستی ببینی که دیگه توی همون شادی نیست. ببینی که جای خالی تو خونه چقدر بزرگه. من تنها پای تنها شدم.
Noor, make a wish for Mom to come and see you soon. My life after you has become a prison.
مادر جون، الان 43 ساله که این سرزمین از ته دل نخندیده. For 3 years have passed since this land last laughed joyfully.
My son was shot in a protest on 19 October 2022. Instead of taking him to hospital, the police guards tied him to a flagpole for hours under the hot sun with endless beating and torture. My son asked for some water. The guards put a bottle of water in front of him, but they refused to allow him to drink. This was the saddest moment and scene. Still, it's really heartbreaking for me. Noor was only 27 years old. After his father's death, he was responsible for the whole family, for his 8 sisters and me. Khoda Noor means the God of light. He became the light of our house and our family. He had no birth certificate, no identification. It's like so many Iranian Baluch people. But he did his best for his relative to look after them, as he was the only man in our family.
When a student is slain today, it reminds me of those hot summer days when this terrible government murdered my son without telling us anything about for weeks, since it feels like they are murdering my children again. Despite the fact that my heart is beating, I lay my rug, raise my hands and pray loudly. I'm aware that despite all of these injustices, and Almighty God still hears our screams.
Was like my future. Whenever I saw him, my eye light up, and also all his sister really adore him for being so kind and responsible for them. He served us as the rays of hope for my future. He worked every day for long hours with painting and plastering, and he spent all the money for the family. Recently, he got engaged after he fell in love. The fact that Noor had a difficult childhood caused him great anxiety, but he always brought happiness to our hearts. He made us laugh, and he did nice dancing for us.
Many young people who are the future of this land are killed by the oppressive regime. We have always kept quiet and looked on. During those years, this government murdered numerous children and kept their families unaware from a long time until at the end delivering over the dead bodies after pleading.
The award-winning host and executive producer Shima Oliai brings the fight toward freedom to life.
As soon as Khomeini came into power, they were basically all of their legal rights started being stripped one by one. And by 1981, every woman was fully veiled. They went from very Parisian-like outfits, short miniskirts. My mom said she was protesting in a miniskirt in '79 as a freshman in college. And it went from that to full, like, thick black pants, long sleeve shirts, and a full hijab or chador by the time we get to 1981.
I sometimes didn't want to cover my head with a scarf during the summer, since the intense sun would leave my entire body soaked with sweat.
I heard from his friend when he was shot by a gun. He asked his friends to drive him to the hospital so he might have a chance to survive. He said, if something happened to me, my mother will die, my sister will be hopeless, and my fiancé will be alone, and he was begging his friends to help him to stay alive. Even at that time, he didn't think about himself. He was worried for me, his sisters, and also his fiancé. When he was taken to the hospital, they didn't pay attention to him and they didn't treat him properly. Then he passed away. When my younger daughter, only 21-year-old, heard the news, he had heart attack and she passed away too.
They shut the doors of Sharif University just a few weeks ago and sprayed tear gas into the classrooms. You know that they mourn for Hussein and Karbala, but what is the difference between them and Yazid? By the way, Yazid is the symbol of vengeance. They enjoyed spilling blood.
And still it's painful to remember that you were under the sun, thirsty, and asking for water, and they didn't give you even a sip of water. You don't know how miserable is my life without you. Although I am pleased that you are martyr for humanity, you went to fight injustice, just like Imam Hussein, but still, deep down, my heart is sad. I wish I died instead of you.
I often get in my wheelchair and follow the students as they cross the street in the evenings to watch their fight for this land. They burn their scarves to demonstrate that they are sick of this government, regardless their young age. They are interested in having the most basic human rights and to be free like all other people in the world. You know, my darling, these days blood is all throughout, even in the streets where there should be water. Yet despite this, we are all happy because We are fighting for our rights. We are arguing because we have finally spoken after a long time of silence. For women in our country, having equal rights to men has long been a dream.
When it was New Year, Nowruz in Iran, I was so sad and down because I remember the last year when Noor helped me with spring cleaning. He always said, "Mom, you need to rest. I look after you and I do everything for you." He brought happiness and light to our house. I remember the days when he came back from work, so tired and shattered, but with a big smile, and calling me queen of his life, and he brought hope to me. Without Noor, the house feels like hell. Without his voice, the house is full of silence. You are not here, my son, to see that I grow so old over these months. You are not here to see how the house is empty and dark, and always I feel alone and lonely.
Today, we yell about our rights in the streets for that reason. Oh, my darling, this country owes us a lot. You know that every day we bury several persons under this earth, along with the hearts of their mother and dads. Do you think that all of these weakness and hunger for blood is worse for the world? I sincerely hope that this nation will once again be peaceful and calm, and instead of standing in opposition to one another, people hold one another's warm hands and stand together.
Noor, make a wish for Mom to come and see you soon. My life after you has become a prison, like a cage and no air to breathe. I wish I join you soon. Mom love you forever.
مینو علی
حنانه رحسا سارا علی
میلاد
یان
نیکا
سارینام
محمد
عرفان حدیث
کسامه
My next question probably is a bit more for you, Trey. We obviously have been on the same strand on this course for like the last 3 years, but you went a different way. So I want to ask, why did you pick your pathway over others?
So why did I pick my pathway? Well, to be honest, I chose it because it kind of felt more. It felt like it would lead to what I wanted because I want to become like a showrunner, but over here it'll be like a producer of a network show, and obviously learning production skills would be useful. But at the time, I was actually given an opportunity to shadow someone, work with part of a team, and I would go to like events with this person, help them film. I used to do sound recording for them as well. He taught me a little bit of live streaming, so I was pretty much learning practical skills. So I was thinking, there's no point learning more practical skills, which I now think I should have probably leaned to the media side, I mean the production side. But at the time I thought, okay, I already got this experience. I'm gonna learn these experience as you guys are learning yours. I'm not really missing out on anything.
That makes sense. Yeah. Why did you guys stick with this route? If there's any reason
Didn't
why.
want to write the dissertation.
Yeah.
Preach.
Same.
Thank you. I didn't want to write.
Nah,
I didn't want to write. I saw like
I saw 10,000 words. Said,
you know
nope.
the email we get every new year about our strands and what we do, and we found out what we always did was, okay, we send into the group chat. Okay, what did you guys pick? Yeah. Who picked what? And I asked Liisbet, what did you pick? To explain it properly. Okay, what did Rohan pick? And I'll see one that says dissertation. When I saw dissertation, I said, yeah, that's not me. I said that's not for
Did
me.
you need to read the other side?
I just saw dissertation. I said that's not for me. No, like no.
The thing is, I don't even remember picking the pathways. I knew I did it, but I don't remember what was going through. I can't remember. But I knew I had a good reason though. I do remember thinking I prefer this side. But when I started, I couldn't remember what was to come, which wasn't very smart of me. But yeah, those are the only reasons why we picked.
I want, for major project actually, I wanted to make something which I'm proud of, and then something in sound field especially. That's why I think I chose this one.
Okay, the most reasonable answer.
Thank you. Hello. Is this on? Hello? Okay. Hi, as you can clearly see, I'm Tremaine. Just want to say hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and giving us our support. But when I say support, I don't just mean by showing up today. I mean, for the last 3 years, each and every one of you gave us support, whether it was starring in our films, whether it was giving us feedback, running the idea back to us, see if it really makes sense, or whether it was just listening to us complain about how hard the work is, or whether we're going to get it done on time. You were there for us. So I want to say thank you very much. Just want to say thank you. But anyway, back to my dissertation. My dissertation, I'm going to make it short because my video basically covers it. I wasn't going to come here and bore you with 9,000 words. I wasn't going to do that to all of you. So I decided to make a video with Rohan. Oh, he's over there. And yeah, in this video, the topic covers it covers how the use of social media could ruin you in the workplace. Well, that's not the actual title, but I'm a bit nervous now, so I can't really say the title. But other than that, this video will pretty much give you the information you need, but I'll give you a little bit of context. In this video, you will hear me talk about mob mentality. You'll hear me talking about how easy your digital footprint can be tracked online. We all leave a trail online the moment we make an account. I also talk about how there's been evidence of people who have their lives ruined on social media, but how they also bounce back, how they're able to recover after backlash. And I'm not sure if I did this, but in the video, I also talked about how important waiting for the information is, waiting for getting the whole truth. You know, we don't get in little bits, because sometimes online we see events happen and we think, oh, cool, we gotta tell someone about this. But ultimately, we need to wait, take our time, and see what the truth is, so we don't cause anyone pain. But yeah, I'm pretty much done. Thank you.
Okay, so Trey, you've just finished your dissertation. How did you find the process?
It was long because I have to do 9,000 words, but ultimately, I enjoyed it. You know, it expanded my knowledge and it taught me new things. And I think that's, you know, ultimately the aim of a dissertation, to increase your learning.
So what's your kind of opinion on, so when people are publicly shamed on social media, do you think that is justified sometimes?
I think it's justified. It really depends on the situation, but if you did something wrong, you should be punished accordingly, you know? If you were to steal something, you will be sentenced to prison for the right amount of time because you stole something, or you have to pay a fine. Depends how the law works in your state or country. But there's a punishment that suits the crime. But in terms of online punishment, it can really just be overcorrecting, or it'd be step too far, where in some cases you will have people getting fired from work, and we all need a job for income. And if you're unable to get that job because you're just a social pariah or a lot of negativity is attached to your name, you'll not be able to get other jobs around your area. And you might have to do low paying jobs. So your financial source is low. And that's really one of the consequences of it. But back to what you're saying, I do believe, you know, people should be punished accordingly. But punishing too much, no, you know, I don't believe so.
And so people deserve a second chance after they have maybe like apologized for something they've done wrong.
Of course, like once you've been punished and you make a mistake and you acknowledge your mistake, you should be given a second chance. But I do understand that a lot of people have been hurt, you know, they haven't been taught that people can be changed. Because obviously it's a simple thing. We all believe that like change is possible, but in some situations we just don't believe certain people can change. For example, I wrote in my dissertation that like, even though we have prisons, we have prisons for reforming people. We also have prisons for sending those individuals away so they don't disrupt the community. When those prisoners are released, they don't really get the same love that they should give, because they served their time and they have been, or we don't really know, but they have been making progress in order to fix their lives. But once they come out, they have to work certain jobs. They can't work the jobs they wanted to if they didn't go to prison because of the criteria of the job, or they're just not really given opportunities to prove themselves, and sadly that causes them to reoffend. The reason why I'm mentioning that is like, some people who have been shamed online, they might believe that if the world hates me or I'm not loved, I'm just gonna rebel against them. Or the wrong groups of people who see them getting shamed for this will, I don't know what the right word would be, but somewhat groom them into thinking, oh, those guys are crazy. What you said was fine. You should come listen to us. And yeah.
So people get pushed into more kind of extremist views and ideologies and things like that as a result.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so did you do any research into things like sort of mob mentality and mob justice and things like that?
Yes, I did. Like, I don't remember the theorist's name, but there was a theory back in the day where like they believe that people who were part of mobs were just brainless and just prone to violence, because they believe if you're part of the mob, you lose all sense of function. But that's been debunked, and it's been debunked and proven that people have their own minds. If they're in they have their own minds, and if they act badly, it's simply because they wanted to. It's not because they're part of a mob. And also, I learned that moral shock is a thing where if you have no prior history of activism, or you're not part of any organization, if you see injustice, it's like call to action where you need to step up and do this. So to be honest, anyone could be called to do help justice in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think Twitter, in particular, is something that actually generates this kind of, not necessarily a mob mentality, but a kind of following of opinion that ends up in something that's more like mob justice, maybe?
Yes, I do believe that. I do believe Twitter is. I believe most social media sites, but especially Twitter, are guilty of this because on Twitter, they give you so many features to find people who think like you, to join their community, to follow the people who you agree with. And even though that's not necessarily a bad thing, it can have, not positive outcomes where you're having people who are following certain people who share one perspective of a view. And in life, there's multiple perspectives. It's not a simple, okay, good and bad, just different things. There's different lenses you can view the situation through. And people on social media, people on Twitter is like an echo chamber. It's known for being an echo chamber. So you're going to hear people just spewing the same garbage over and over. And there's going to be a lot of people who are fact checking this truth. Like there was a statistic that proved, I think it was 30%. 30%, I think it was 30 or 70% of people retweet false rumors. And I think 30% of them find out that 30% of them realize that it's false and the truth actually comes out, but the rest are still spread rapidly. Because even though it gets debunked, no one really pays attention to it.
So I guess that opens up the potential for somebody to be publicly shamed based on fake news or a false rumor.
Yes, false rumor and false narratives. Because obviously, if a video gets posted online by someone gets punched in the face, we've seen that punch. We've seen the punch. We could say, okay, that person's guilty because he punched the other person. But we do not know what transpired throughout that day. Of course, you might say it doesn't matter, he punched him, but people have reasons for doing things. They're not like cartoons or characters in movies. They have justifiable reasons to, do certain things. So yeah.
And what responsibility do you think social media companies have for regulating that kind of fake news, false rumors, mob justice, that the kind of creation of social pariahs? Do you think social media companies should be doing more to kind of regulate those things?
Yes, I do believe they should be doing more because I don't remember where this was, but I remember reading this. But I heard that social media companies, in terms of law, they don't really want to police people online because they just want, and they don't want to be blamed for it because they just have a platform and and the individual can just post whatever they want. And obviously, that's just running away from the problem. You have these platforms, you're in charge of it, you kind of form how your community looks. I believe that they should have stricter guidelines in order to, stop certain movements. I do understand, but that's a double-edged sword, because everything can look threatening to someone else. But I feel like if they could nip or isolate bad actors or isolate certain groups of people, I feel it would be good to stop it from spreading like a disease. Because you can ban them, but really banning people don't really have that. It doesn't really work in a way. Because if you ban a book, people will just find ways to buy that book online. Because if the government bans it, they might think, oh, I need to see what this person's saying. So banning doesn't really work. It just causes more people to search up the name and who this person is, where they can find information about them. Yeah.
And do you think sometimes banning and things like that actually pushes some of these communities or some of these discourses under the surface, where actually it's harder for people to actually understand what's happening with them, and we kind of lose track of those more extreme edges of different views if it's underground like that?
From what I can say, yeah, I don't banning is not really a useful tool. Like even though it does help sometimes, But in terms of people who have massive followings, I feel like having someone who can share a different point of view would be much better. Because if you ban someone, because when Andrew Tate got banned, he's a controversial figure. People like him, people don't like him. When he got banned, that gave more people a reason to like Andrew Tate, because they believe that, okay, he's a hero. He got banned because he was trying to speak the truth. So I need to pay more attention to what he's saying. But in actual fact, I believe that if you have someone who shares a different opinion than him and can have a reasonable argument, because what people like to do is have an idea that this one person knows all the answer, but that's not how it is in life. There's no a single one answer. The only one answer you could probably get is in maths. 1 + 1 is 2. But in terms of like real world things, there's not technically a one answer. So I feel like having other people pushing content or pushing individuals to share their point of view would be good. But at the same time, if the company pushes them, that might just tell the people on social media, oh, they're trying to promote some propaganda and this and that. So it might backfire.
So do you think the kind of trend for kind of public shaming is actually kind of threatening the diversity of voices that we actually get on those platforms, even if some of those voices might be kind of giving us views that we don't necessarily agree with?
Yes. Yes, I do agree with that. Actually, sorry, could you rephrase the question?
Yeah, so I mean, do you think if there's like a kind of cancel culture or there's a public shaming culture, do you think that actually kind of means that people are less likely to speak out and provide all of the variance of opinion that you're just kind of saying that we actually need?
Yeah, I do agree. Having a culture where people are getting cancelled left and right and public shaming isn't right, because how am I gonna say this? I do agree, but yeah, everyone needs to have an opinion to be shared. Because if you're so quick to shut down another person, you're not really gonna learn anything. You're isolating your thoughts, and in life, comfort is a good thing, but too much is not necessary. You need to grow and expand. Because how are you gonna learn if you're not willing to fail? And I believe that having new knowledge is useful, but at the same time, the problem is just how to regulate that. Because I can say, yes, we need to have diverse opinions, but we need to find a way to regulate it so it doesn't backfire or it doesn't blow up in everyone's faces. Actually, I got a question, if you don't mind, for everyone. Obviously, when you started this course, you had like a goal in mind. My question to all of you is like, do you believe you've found what you were looking for? Do you gain what you wanted during this whole 3 years?
That's a deep question.
How about you start first?
I'm just trying to think what my goal was coming into. I guess it was to like try a little bit of everything and try to find out what it is I wanted to do or get into. So yeah, I don't know. I've really enjoyed, like, for example, making the documentary that I'm making for my major project. So yeah, I've realized that I like the production side of things, like actually coming up with the idea for something and then seeing it through and like seeing it come to life. So yeah, I guess I guess that's what I want to get into. But yeah, I didn't come with like a specific goal in mind. I just came to learn.
I'm the same really. I don't remember what I had in mind, but I did want to leave with some sort of experience and connections, and I want to obviously leave with enough, I guess, a portfolio that I could say I did this, and that, and I've got enough of that, to be fair. And obviously learn things as well, and a degree. That would be nice. So yeah, I think I'm the same. Just wanted to, I wanted, like, I didn't know what I wanted to be after this. I think I have an idea now, but I kind of wanted, this course had like a little bit of everything for me to try. So I thought this is perfect. I can just figure it out on the way.
Okay. Solmaz?
My aim is to make podcasts or audio documentaries. Yeah.
So you're saying you believe that this course helps you?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Finally, you.
I came in to this course, uni, saying, okay, I want to leave after my 3 years. I'm never going back to school, but I want to leave here saying that I was able to express myself the way I wanted to. Because when you're in high school, you can't do a lot of things. When I came here, it's like my creativity was able to flourish. My first day in uni online, I was like, I pray that I'm able to create what I want to create, because I always known what I want to do, what I want to have. Like, I want to be a presenter, I want to host. So I came here saying, okay, I want to learn those skills. So when I'd have classes that is not like talking or like radio, I'm very irritated. I'm like, I don't want to write. I don't want to learn. Like, I want to go and speak. I want to speak to people. So coming here from that goal, which was realistic but also unrealistic, also taught me like, okay, I need to create, yes, but also need to learn. Like, there's some aspects that I actually do need to sit down and like, I need to actually open my mind. So there's growth that has happened since I came to this school from my original goal. It's not like I've grown. So yeah.
Okay, I'm proud of all of you.
Gosh.
What about you?
Yes.
Did you answer?
Okay. Yes, I believe I fulfilled my goal. To be honest, I don't actually remember what my goal was. I think I told myself at the time I'm gonna be an A-star student. I'm gonna arrive on time. And a lot of things happened, but when I was looking back through all the work I've completed, I realized that I did a lot of work and I've actually grown. There was progress basically, and I thought, okay, I was proud of myself because during like each course, you're not really thinking, okay, did I improve or not? But when you actually look back at it, you realize you did a lot. You've grown. Like I saw the first ever video I made like back in college, and I compared it to the one I made now. I can say I grew a lot.
Congrats. I'm proud of you as well.
Proud of you, Trey.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah, we all are.
Hello again. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. My name is Rhys. So, for my final major project, it took me a long time to even come up with an idea. Well, no, that's not true. I had an idea, but I couldn't do it for a number of reasons. I got into late March, early April, and I was still thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. Before that, actually, I knew what I wanted to try and do because I'm someone that loves to do a lot of things. Like I said before in one of the clips, I like to do everything. Edit videos, pictures, work in audio, video, film, just a lot. Direct, produce, and I've been able to learn a lot as well. So I needed to do a project that allowed me to find a way to put in everything that I've learned, everything that I love doing, and then, work with that. So that's when I came up with the idea to do a mini-series, pretty much, a 4-episode mini-series. Episode 1 drops on Tuesday, but that's another conversation. But so each episode is about something different. First of all, the series is called Let's Talk About It. That's the name of the show. And so episode 1 is about me and my friend. I brought him into the radio station and I filmed it in there because I love the radio station. It's small, it's intimate, there's no distractions. It's just me and I guess the equipment that I love using. So we spoke about our friendship, how we've grown individually and creatively, where we are going, what we've been through. And episode 2 was about that as well, but how our faith, because we're Christians, how it comes into that. Sometimes I think as a creative, I should just go and create whatever I think I want to do, but is there a conflict with my faith? Should I be doing this as a Christian? So we spoke about that a little bit. Episode 3 was about social media, pros and cons. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Where are we going as in society with social media? Do we need it? Should we progress with social media, or should we just find a way to leave it behind because we've lived without it before as humans, so it's not like we need social media. But was a discussion we had. Episode 4 was about television and streaming. There was a time where I would come home from school, first thing I'm doing is grab a few snacks, put on Disney Channel. I'm watching shows for hours at a time. Nowadays, I come home and I put on Netflix. So how relevant is television nowadays? I know we use it for the news sometimes and for sports, but do we still watch TV like we used to? And how much further can television go? Like even now, everything we watch on TV, you can find streamed somewhere on YouTube or something. So we spoke about that in episode 4. 4 episodes. Each episode's about 20 to 30 minutes long. I'm not gonna play all 4 episodes for you. That's long. I'm gonna play you episodes 1 and 3, well, clips, sorry, of 1 and 3, because I think those are the episodes that I liked the most, that I think I produced the best. Each episode had a problem, whether it be lighting or sound or something, and I only realized these problems in post-production, which is annoying, but I couldn't get my guests back because of scheduling and whatever, so I thought, I've got to just work with what I got. I'm proud of what I've got. I think I did a lot. It looks good. I'm gonna stop talking now again. I'm just gonna let you guys see it. So yeah, this is Let's Talk About It.
In Jesus' name, that we make it there, we make it there. We can be, I want to even play, my kids are going to be watching these back.
Listen, 10 years from now, I don't know how old you're going to be, maybe like 7 or something. I don't know. Listen, we worked hard for you to make it in life. What a private school, what do you think I did?
No, I don't believe you. Yes, you
I didn't like it. I've never watched it. I've probably seen 1 or 2 episodes.
I thought you put me onto that as a kid.
Not me. Couldn't be me. I've never watched it.
I'm stunned.
Never watched it. I never had cable growing up.
No, but it was on everything else. But
I am Joshua Kitson, 23, soon to be 24. I feel like I'm a person, yeah. I'm multifaceted. I'm in between everything. Like, you know how you always get guys into tech or into movies or let's say into football. I don't even like football, but I'm into so many things where I'm an in-between guy. And I think that's the best way to describe me. Like, I'm kind of good at a lot of things. I kind of like a lot of things, or I'm really into a lot of stuff. Like, I'm a nerd, but then I really like fitness. But then, you know, I'm really into creativity as well. So I am someone in between the lines. That's how I've always felt in life.
what is your earliest memory of me?
I actually remember, bro. Do you know what's so funny? Like, a lot of the questions you're gonna ask, I've been thinking about them like the past couple of weeks.
Really?
Yeah, just randomly. I don't know why. And then even like, I think I was just thinking about our friendship the other day. Like, just how we've known each other for a while. Like, thinking about, okay, in the future, like, bro, like one day we'll be working together. Just like there's certain people I just expect to creatively work with for the rest of my life. And like, you're one of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then in terms of my earliest memory, walking into school, I think the first day.
Really?
I remember that. I think we had like a brief convo.
Did we?
Yeah. I think we found out that we both support Arsenal, even though I don't really watch football anymore.
Oh, I might remember that.
And then one of the reasons why I knew we were gonna be boys was because you like Usher. And I don't know why, I just remember that so clearly, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that as well.
Like,
100%.
I was like, that's a good, like, I can trust you. Like, you have sense.
Like, you trust me, why? Because you listen to Usher.
Bro, because I remember, like, when we first became friends, yeah, Usher was the thing that bonded us together.
2011.
Because I remember, there was a conversation I remember we had where we were both at home, listening to Usher, watching the OMG video. I think it was Oh My Gosh video.
Oh.
Yeah. And we were talking about it. I don't know
why am I going to listen to like? Why are we talking about the video that came out how long ago? Yeah.
No, to be fair, I think OMG would have come out around about that time. To be fair.
Are you real?
2010.
I thought it was earlier than that.
2010. I can even double check now, but I'm pretty sure it was 2010. Because we started. When did we started? Oh my goodness! You're not gonna guess when OMG came out. When the video dropped.
2009.
30th of March 2010.
No way.
It
Bro,
says
are you
right
sure?
here. I'm on
No,
YouTube right
wait. I thought OMG was like a mid to late 2000s, not 2010 late, like
Nah.
2007.
He was in his pop bag at the time.
Guys, we're old but we're young. Like we're 23.
Damn.
But we're old.
Yeah. So my earliest memory of you, is form. I can just remember form 7GR. I remember.
I had that so long.
James McKay sitting on my left.
Yeah.
Stasi on my right, I believe it was. And you were on the table. We were on that. It was a row of tables.
Yeah,
and you were on that table in front of me. Who was on your table? I remember Eugene and Eman at the front, in front of Miss Rose's desk.
Yeah.
Jasmine and Charlotte might have been somewhere around there.
I think I was near one of them, you know.
Who was on your desk though?
I don't remember, but I just remember you was on a different table. And I think, bro, this is the only friend I have, and I'm not on this table. I was like, I'm not good at making friends. Never have been. Yeah, like socially, it's not my strong suit. Even some people say it is. Yeah.
I just remember you being you were confident and you were just witty and you were just.
I was confident witty.
Yeah, bro, you wouldn't stop talking. I knew. You know, you got me in trouble a lot.
Did actually?
No, you didn't get me in trouble, but I knew if I was anywhere near you in class.
Oh, because of talking, right?
Yeah, 100%. It was over.
I had a problem. I had a talking, like I couldn't.
We all did,
sit still.
and we got in trouble for enjoying ourselves in class when it came to parents' evening. Parents would be like, teachers would be like, "Oh, he talks a lot in class. He's easily distracted." I'm just enjoying my.
That was the only thing that got said for 5 years straight.
What my dad got furious one time in the car,
bro.
What are you angry about? I'm doing alright.
Did I feel pressure growing up? Yeah, I did, definitely, 100%. I think generally as a black person, as a black male, there's pressure. I think there's a pressure with parents to, achieve well and do well, because it's always kind of pushed on you. There's going to be consequences if you don't do well, or you have to do well. I think there's a pressure as well because if like my peers or maybe other relatives are doing well and I'm not necessarily always doing the best, like academically. Like I found out a learning disability when I was like 19, 20 in university. So there's always a pressure to do well, but I didn't know how to do well. And then I think there's also a pressure, I guess, as a guy, generally to kind of just do certain things and be certain ways. But I guess as I'm older, kind of realize, okay, those pressures aren't healthy. Let me just be me, be myself, flow as myself, and that's the way I would be the most free and be the most successful in life, essentially.
Do I think people are genuine on social media? No. I think there's a lot of people that are pretending to be something that they're not, voicing opinions that they don't believe just to like get a reaction for likes, for the clout, assume like putting on personalities that aren't actually them, pretending to be some toxic guy like Future when actually you're a nice guy, so there's people out there that do that, so yeah.
So do you think social media is heading down a dark place?
Do I? I think it might. I think it might end up going down into a dark place. I'm not sure what it will look like, but I think it could. It could.
Did we ever see like Instagram? Because before, way before Twitter and that, we had like, what other social media did we have? MSN,
MySpace.
Exactly, and they obviously died out.
Yeah.
But did we ever see Twitter, Instagram, and these apps lasting as long as they did? Because they've been around for like what, over 10 years now. Maybe.
I don't think they will, because I feel like they will see the mistakes that the other social media apps made and not make those same mistakes.
Another thing as well, as a user, when you've gathered such a following, you don't want to start a new following on a new platform.
Exactly.
Especially when one makes you so much money.
Yeah.
Already, you can monetize it. So yeah, I put that you're not going to see Instagram, especially Instagram, Facebook as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you can make so much money off of it.
Exactly.
Twitter, I don't know how. Twitter is a weird one because Twitter. I don't know how people. I think you can make money off Twitter. There's probably a way. I don't know how people do it, but it's not one of the apps used for it.
Yeah, because the thing is, if Twitter shut down today, a lot of people would be happy, but there would be a massive void in the social media world.
That's true.
Because Twitter is a place where people share their opinions.
Exactly. That's
Instagram,
true.
you show
Tweets.
yourself
And tweets.
Exactly. Snapchat, you show what you're doing. Like for example, Be Real, you're showing what you're doing. But like Twitter is that the one place where people have conversations with random people about a big topic that's happening. You know.
Talk to me about Be Real. What's that?
Be Real is just like,
I know what it is, but I don't use it, so I just want to know, and for the viewers as well.
Be Real is like all you're doing is at a certain time in the day you get a notification and you just post what you're doing at that present moment. It's just about being real about what you're doing.
So what's the notification like?
So like it will come up on your phone and it will just have like a warning sign, 2 minutes till you need to be real. And it just comes with when you press it, it opens the camera on the app, and then it will open your front camera to show what's in front of you, and then it will use your back camera to show you.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm not busy enough in my days.
No, it's not about being busy. You could be at home playing PlayStation, and you're just showing you playing PlayStation.
My beer will be very boring. Then.
Like, I've done
daily.
like when
It's
I
a daily
do-
thing.
Yeah, it's a daily thing. Just show what you're doing every day. When I started it and it did the end of year recap, it just showed like all my days, and I was kind of happy because I can't remember what I did last week. So having my Be Real, sometimes I'll go back and see what I did that week. I'm like, oh yeah, I went roller skating. I did this. Okay, cool. Like it's the same with Snap, but because I don't use Snapchat. I don't care. I'm never gonna go check my memories on Snap. Like I have to make a conscious effort to go look. So that's why I prefer Be Real. I haven't considered a social media detox. I don't think I need it. If I did it, I feel like I'd be the same person. I don't think I need a social media detox. I'm not addicted to it. I can live without it. I can go a day without my phone. Like right now, my phone's over there, and it's not bothering me that I don't have it. You know, I'm not like addicted or like I need my phone kind of person. When it comes to like social media, I already hate Snapchat, so that's already one social media that I've already detoxed myself from. When it comes to like, for example, Instagram and Twitter and all those apps, I can do without it. I honestly can do without it. So yeah, I don't think I have to like set 2 weeks aside to say, yeah, for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going on social media. I don't need to do that, man.
Will you be the type of parent to protect your kids from social media? So like, at what age will you say, "I cool, you can have Instagram now"?
From when they get to like secondary school.
So like what, 11, 12?
Yeah, because that's when they'll have a phone.
So
I'll show them how to use it. I won't just say here's a phone, go use it. I'll be like, look, in the years prior, I'll be like, look, this is the phone. This is what it's for. If I call you, don't answer, you give me that phone back. Like that's rule number one. If I call you, don't answer, give me my phone back.
So what about those?
And I'll just
those Instagram moms. Well, not Instagram moms, but there's moms that have Instagram, and they have like an account for their kids.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's long.
I don't think like guys do that though. I think it's more like a girl thing to do.
I barely post myself.
So posting your kids is
so
long.
I must now get up and post my kids on a weekly basis and all that. That's long.
I hear it. Do you think social media should have an age limit?
Age limit? Like as in like a cap?
No, like limits actually no. Not limit. What's like minimum age requirement?
Oh, age requirement. Yeah. I think so.
Should it be different for each platform?
Yeah.
Because I think kids are on TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok, but I think kids are on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, they're always on it, bro.
But I don't really see kids on Twitter like that. I don't think kids.
Yeah, they don't get it.
They don't get it, and it's also like it's just Twitter is not a space. Like remember when George Floyd, when he died, and Twitter was not even Twitter, social media was just dark.
Yeah.
And
I had to come off it.
sad.
I had to come off for like a week because it was just a lot. Like
Yeah.
every post was just
George Floyd,
intense. George
yeah.
Floyd and protests, and it was just like I wasn't hiding from it, but I was like, I need a break from social media because this is doing a lot. Like, every second of my day, I was thinking about this, and I couldn't think anything like positive, and it was doing something to me. So I take a break from it. But I do think there should be probably not a limit on social media. That's crazy, but a minimum age requirement.
I think what YouTube did was good. Where they have YouTube Kids.
Yeah, they're always
Because-
asking people to post a video on that. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, having YouTube Kids was a great idea.
That's actually
because
cool.
then all the content on there is for that age range demographic.
Yeah,
that's where you go and watch it. I think Netflix is, even though it's not social media, Netflix doing Netflix Kids.
Yeah, Netflix, yeah.
Like having like a kids version of an app.
Yeah,
could actually be useful. Like a kids version of Instagram where it's just kids on there. Their own age
maybe
mates.
not creating a whole new app for like Instagram, but like let's say you wanted to give your 12-year-old Instagram, and they sign up as a 12-year-old. There's certain features they have that's different to when if they were going to be like as they get older, they get new features, it updates or it changes or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's an
if
idea.
Instagram decided to do that, I want my cut.
Hello.
Give me my cut.
Exactly.
This next question is hard because I don't have an answer for it, and if you guys do, that's great. If you don't, well, it is what it is. But what is the strangest moment of the past 3 years? Awkward silence. Because it's a weird one.
What do you mean by strange? What do you mean, like awkward? Just
no,
like
not even awkward. Just like so. To
something-
be fair to you, I put this question down because I didn't want to use any of the questions we used last time. So I thought way outside of the box, and I was late. I was tired. I just thought I was gonna put a question down. We'll think about it tomorrow. I don't actually have an answer for this question. I don't think we've
Actually,
had.
no.
There you go first.
Unless you,
No, Trey, please.
I don't know if it counts as strange, but like I knew you get freedom in like university, like amount of time you can have, but that freedom, oh my gosh, when you actually get it, it's too intoxicating. Like it's like
Okay,
you're
yeah.
drunk in a way.
What do you mean?
So obviously, I think the first year, yeah, for me, no, not first, in the second year, I think I only had like to come in for like 2 days. So other than that, I was just chilling. Of course, I can get work done, but I was just chilling, and it was a weird feeling to me because
Yeah.
obviously when you're in primary school, high school, college, there's like a set system. You're here for like more than 4 days.
Yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah.
You know, 9 to 5.
So it was strange not having to really
Work.
almost like the rules weren't enforced on you.
Yes, exactly. It was like they gave you a lot of time for you to use, and it's really up to you if you want to use it properly or not. And obviously, when you're younger, you're really forced. They really push that pressure on you compared to university.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because when strange, okay, that's strange. It's not strange, but it's strange because when I see my timetable, class Tuesday and Friday, one class each. I said cool. Sleep in Monday, the rest of the days. I'll see assessments that I do. I'm like, okay, cool. I have all this free time. I'll get it done. I'm free. And then, the freedom is so much that like I think also taught us how to manage time as well. So from strange, it went to okay, I need to grow up. Like, what is this? Like, I'm free. I should be happy. I have all this free time because now that I don't have the free time, I miss the 2 days of lectures. I think strange was there, and also when we did the live production, and we had one of the people come in. One of the guy,
The fashion show one.
not the perform.
He came to help us.
He came to help
I
us.
forgot his name though. Yeah.
He came to help us. DG brought him to help us plan the
David,
show.
David, I think.
David.
David.
That's it, yeah.
We try not to say his name, Liisbet. We tried our best.
Say his name. Yeah,
We try not to say his name, but that was he came to help. But I don't know, just something was going on when he was here that just made the atmosphere it just made it weird.
It's because he's not an actual lecturer.
Is
So
that why?
I don't think he is. I think he actually works in production. So it's
Yeah.
like not that he couldn't teach, but he wasn't there to teach us. I don't feel like he was there to teach us. He was just there to guide us.
Okay.
Put pressure on us.
Maybe
Maybe
it
a bit
was
of pressure. I didn't really feel pressure, to be fair.
No, come on. Every single day after we leave the class, you see, nobody was smiling, and DJ would nobody would smile. You'd just be looking like, okay,
Well,
time
that's
for
how
us
it
to
works in
go.
the industry,
Yeah.
so get
Yeah,
ready
he,
for
the thing
it.
is, he
Like-
really, when he was there, he really took this as this is his job.
Yeah,
Whereas
he
he
wanted-
forgot that we're all here trying to
Like, he
learn.
forgot we're
how
students.
workplace
Yeah,
works.
He
I
forgot
yeah.
we're
think-
students. He just
yeah.
drilled us upon.
Mm.
And just like, David, please, can you like give them a break? And he's like, no. Like, come on.
I think DJ even took him aside one time, and we're just like,
Yeah,
I
DJ took him
think, I'm not
aside.
gonna say she did, but it was but
No, DJ
yeah.
had told us like she told us like she's even told him like to come, like she used to come out to, she see my face. Obviously, if I'm quiet, something is wrong with me, as you guys have known for the last 3 years. If I keep quiet, something is wrong. And DJ will come to me because I'm quiet. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Don't worry, I know, but he's trying to help you." And she'll walk away. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just being very mean. But because of him, we learned. So.
The industry's mean.
Like, I don't know. I didn't know it was that mean.
Like
I didn't
honestly, it
know.
is.
Oh my
It is.
goodness.
It is.
Yeah, your career is gonna be crazy.
Like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the industry as well.
Well, I'm ready for it.
Okay,
Like,
I'm
you-
not-
Well,
you don't
I
know
know.
it's going to
I
be
know
very
that's
cruel to
like
you.
that.
Because I just it's just mean. Like,
Yeah.
people are mean, bro.
Yes, they are.
Wait till you see your comment section. They're cruel people out there.
Good evening, guys, and thank you for coming to support us. So, for my major project, the process wasn't really the same as everybody else because, frankly, I leave everything to the last minute. And over the years, I realized that's the best way I work. I like pressure. If I don't have pressure, I will not produce my best work. So, how everybody had time, it was weird for me because when we would plan, in the beginning, I got the idea, it's okay not to know, on the spot, on the day. Because I had weeks, I had months to think of an actual idea. Then it was in class when Susie had asked, okay, everybody, time for you to present. And I was there thinking, okay, what can I do? I like talking. I said podcast, and I don't really know things. I don't know about my life. I discover my life as it goes along. So I was like, okay, it's okay not to know. And she was like, wow, that's so great. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's my idea for my show. It's okay not to know. And we had time to do it. Then at some point, my mom passed away some months ago. So I had to go back home. So when everybody was in class doing everything they needed to do, I was doing something completely different. So when I had come back, it was like so many things for me to do. I had to do school, I had to do work, and I didn't have time to do anything. So the point of the podcast from when it first began was graduation. I'm going to get people when they graduate to talk about, they don't know about their life afterwards. They don't have their plan. But from after everything that happened to me, when I had come back, I was like, you know what? It's okay not to know. It's going to be broader. It's okay not to know about your life. It's okay not to know about where your next step is. It's okay not to know, but as well have a vision, of course. So for me, my vision, I know I'm going to be a presenter. I know I'm going to have my own show. That's, come on, look, 100%. But I also don't know exactly the steps that are going to take me. So I already have my vision, but as well, it's okay not to know, what's going on right now. So my hope for the podcast is basically, when you listen to it, I want you to feel calm. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel like it's a safe space. I want you to listen to me and be like, yeah, she's saying something that I understand. She's resonating with me. I just want it to be a realistic thing where it's just I don't know. And it's cool. So today's show is gonna be live. So you're not gonna listen to any audio because I wanted it to be a live podcast. So it's gonna be, there's audio and it's also gonna be the live production where it's gonna be, you hear the audio parts, but it's also gonna be the visuals. So today you're gonna get the visuals. And I really hope you guys enjoy my major project show and, it's okay not to know. So guys, welcome to the first ever show of It's Okay Not to Know. With us here today are two guests, two very important people to me. First of all is my partner, Todun Akinyelure, which has been here with me through a lot. Cheers. Then second of all is one of my friends that I met in my accommodation. His name is Tariq Shakur, which he listens. So yeah, it's okay. So for today's episode, we're talking about adulting. So it's just adulting, the word you think it is, and also just a broader aspect. So the first question I wanted to ask you guys was, what is your plan for life exactly?
You go first.
All right, so my general plan for life, obviously I'm a first year uni right now, so assuming I graduate, inshallah, everything goes well, I want to get into the marketing industry, maybe my own marketing agency, or, well, that's the end goal actually. Start first, graduate job, build up experience, finances, get to a place in life where I'm comfortable to start venturing on my own, and then from there, see what I can do with my life to better other people's as well.
I like that last part a lot. My vision, I'm studying fashion in university. I'm going into my last year. I see myself owning, well, I kind of already do, but really expanding on this, my own multi-industrial corporation named after myself. So going into design, going into fashion, going into fine arts, and just different other fields. And yeah, just making an impact, primarily serving other people, transforming lives. I think that's the driving force for me. So that's the vision for my life.
Since I graduate next week, we thank God for that actually. Then you graduate in a year, then you graduate, in 2 years basically. So we all have plans for our life, and like, how do you think you're going to actually implement those plans? Because for me, as I graduate next week, I'm now thinking about, okay, I'm starting to branch out more into actually my creative industry. So I already do a job bartending on the side. So for me, it's more of, okay, as I'm doing that job, how can I do other jobs that actually help my growth and my industry? So I started doing photography. I was like, okay, first of all, I'm going to serve in church, because without God, I really can't do anything. So I was like, if I'm gonna start in media, I'm gonna start first with the Lord. I'm gonna do that. So my portfolio is growing, and with this grade, I'm also now doing, LinkedIn, sending my applications to different people, asking, okay, does my CV look good? Producing one, and I'll produce. I also have my own YouTube channel called Crazy Life of NK. So now when I make a video, it's no more just using my phone to do this. No, it's like, if it's not with my camera, if the quality is not correct, if the audio is not correct, I'm not going to put it out, because everything needs to be top tier. So that's how I've implemented my life because of graduation. So you that you have a year and you that you have 2 years, how's it going for you?
Well, for me, I have my own clothing brand already that I started in 2017. I took a break on that, and I started making and selling paintings, and that was a primary focus. And then this summer, I took a break off of that because of school, and I made my first ever film, and I started making music as well. So a lot of plans have already been put into place. My primary goal is skill acquisition, and just getting as much knowledge as I can, because I do feel like I've already put some systems in place. Going into my fourth year, I'm just really focusing on how can I, within the confines of the university and its resources, explore what I want to do, because I have like more or less an unlimited budget because I'm in university. So just getting as much as I can from there. And then once school is over, having a job to just have steady income. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be putting efforts into the endeavors I've already started.
After graduation, I want to explore my options actually. I'm an open book right now, so I say marketing. I want to get into public speaking as well actually, back into photography. So it's a whole bunch of things, but I'm open just to letting my life flow the way it is and doing what I want to do, with no restraints. No, I have to do this and I have to achieve this. Just graduation, opportunity, the world's opened up. So let me explore it.
How you said the point you just made about the pressure, or just like not letting anybody just tell you have to do this, that brings actually to one of the things I wanted to really speak about with the podcast. Was the point was not letting societal pressures bring you down, because on TikTok or Facebook, Instagram, you see a 16-year-old person driving a Benz saying they made their first million at 14, and I'm here at 21 thinking, okay, I have like 20 pounds in my bank account. So like, I'm feeling pressure. I feel like, I need to get my life sorted. And that's a problem we face, because there's so much pressure on Instagram, where you see people that, some of the things you see, they're not real. They're just like, you wear a nice dress, you go and take a picture. After the picture is done, you remove it and you go back to your house. But we don't know that. We are just seeing like a picture, so we just assume somebody else's life. So as people that you use social media sometimes, and also you as well. So do you think actually there is a pressure, and what do you think is a way to make it better?
I mean, social media in itself is. I feel like the world would be better without social media in a whole, like, as a whole, 100% better. But with the pressures of social media, you only see the good parts of someone's life. You don't see the struggle, the hustle, the come up. You see what they want you to see. So in a sense, everything is glorified. So when it comes to pressure, it's like you have to remember we're in a marathon, not a sprint. You're exactly at your own pace. You're exactly where you're meant to be, wherever you are, whenever you are. You just have to have that self-awareness and that trust in yourself that what you're doing is right by you and is what's meant to be written for you. It's all about trust.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I really like what you said about self-awareness. I think that a lot of people who use social media, um, there's not necessarily a focus on what they're consuming. So people just consume what they like, but what you like may not necessarily be beneficial for you. And so for me, I'm on social media casually, but when I am, everything I'm consuming is always benefiting me, and is always improving me in one area or another. So I don't feel any pressure. And in addition to that, I do a lot of research. I read a lot. So when I see certain things, I'm able to quickly identify what is actually going on there. So, for example, if you see a kid who's making millions at 16, chances are, by the age of 20, like, no one's going to hear anything about him again. Why? Because most people who succeed at a young age don't have solid foundations. And if you take a lot of stars that we see all around, the celebrities, you see how they succeeded at a young age. A lot of people heard about them. And then by the time that 2025, they are starting to have so many issues, and because foundations weren't built. So when I see those things, it doesn't move me at all.
What about like the cultural aspect? Because we're Nigerian and you're Guyanese. So in a Nigerian typical in a typical Nigerian household, you're expected to you graduate, you have a job, but it's not like just a small job. You're meant to get into the industry then and there. And in the culture, they're looking for doctors, lawyers, surgeons. Nobody really wants to hear, yeah, I wanted to like talk on TV. Nobody, you don't want to hear that. And I was blessed to have like a family, like a mom that like said, yeah, do whatever you want to do, but just make money. Like, oh, that's all she cared. Do what you want, but make sure you bring back money to the house. So do you have any ideas of in your family, is there any cultural aspect that's like pushing you to succeed, but it's pressure, or is it just like you're okay?
Obviously, like, because you're like you're Nigerian and having just grown up in that environment, even if your family doesn't necessarily push that agenda on you, there will just be passing thoughts here and there that, like, I feel like I should be doing this now when I go back home, or external family as well. Your mom and dad may not say, but cousins, aunties, so it may just be something passing by, which is where what Tariq said about self-awareness is so key, because as much as people can try and push their own ideas of where you should be, you know where you're going, and you know how the steps are building you for the final goal. So for me, no matter what anybody tells me, I'm just like, just give me a couple more years. You'll see that I knew exactly what I was doing. And so that whole culture doesn't affect me. But there are times when I'll just sit down and I'm just thinking, I should be doing more, but I am very quick to handle that.
Within Guyanese culture, we come from nothing, humble beginnings. So there's always that drive within your parents, whatever, to you have to be something, not for yourself, but for generations to come, and I guess for past generations as well. Luckily, it's just me and my mum, so I've had my mum to just push me to do whatever I want. She's always said to me, as long as you're happy in life, whatever you do, you'll have success. And I stick by that. And she's always pushed me to follow my goals. She's always had that like kind of like brown instinct to be like, well, is it really working? Always kind of conflicting sometimes, but I feel like you need that. It brings that balance where it's like, am I doing this and it's working? Am I seeing no progress? Am I getting somewhere? Am I going to be in a place where I'm still stuck here in 2 years? Or I'm going to be 2 years ahead in the next year.
It's very true. Because thinking of that is more of, I think it also has support. Because when you have a lot of support in your around you, regardless you're fine. But it's not support that's they baby you, because you can have support all your life and you don't know what to do with yourself. You rely on people for this, and there's support where it's like, okay, I did this and it didn't work out, and you go and talk to somebody and it's like, okay, like you didn't do it, you failed, but you're gonna get back up again. You understand? And so, what is I don't know what's the most important thing about having the right support around you, especially when you're growing up, when you're gonna enter adults, when you're gonna start paying bills. Like, what is support exactly?
Well, you've been a great support. Um, I think that uh, support in different aspects is very needed. Sometimes you may need financial support, emotional support, mental support. And one person may not fit every category. You may have different people for different things. And the type of relationship you have, whether they're your confidant or they're your best friend or they're just acquaintances, at the end of the day, we will always need people to succeed. And I just actually want to touch on something that he said that I think is absent from, I wouldn't say absent, but is not necessarily the emphasis in Nigerian culture. And that's um, your life being, I'll just say, being a seed to others to come. Because I think that the Nigerian culture really just pushes the agenda of you, your family, your children, and if you're not at a certain point to do that, then you're failing. Whereas when you're thinking for generations to come, there's no how that greatness can be captured in just trying to rush things in 2 years. It takes time, and it's really a marathon to get to that stage whereby you have achieved, or your life is in a place whereby multiple generations are going to benefit from that.
Okay. So we have like two more questions left, don't worry. So one of the second to last one was going to be, after everything we've spoken about, is there anything that just comes to your mind that you want to say? Because the point of, it's okay not to know, is that I still want a platform where people can be heard. So it's not just, yes, I come and ask you questions, you give me your opinion, but like at the end, I want to know, is there anything like just comes to your mind that you just want to say?
I think, like, going along with the last question as well, I'm a firm believer, and everyone should follow it, that you are a product of your environment. Who you surround yourself with and where you place yourself as well really can benefit you or hold you back in life. Your support system, your environment in terms of your housing, where you are, what you're doing with your life, how you carry yourself mentally, physically, all of that builds up, and as a person, it either creates resilience or due diligence. So really and truly, you are a product of your environment, and support system is one of the biggest things in building yourself.
I'm going to throw the question back to you, just because I think the people may also want to hear, your ideas and your opinion. So, is there anything you would like to tell us about it's okay not to know, and how you've handled that situation, and how you're coping with that, and your life trajectory?
Okay. So throughout my life, it's been if I speak about my life, the one thing I'll say first is my life is a testimony. Like, that's one thing. It's a testimony. You'll hear the sad parts, then you're not here. Yeah, that happened, but like, look what's happening now. And there's been times when, like, mental health, that's one thing, like, I would shout from the roof is check on your friends. Because somebody I smile a lot. I'm like, come on, NK, I shout. You know I'm in the building before I'm even there. That's the point. But so when I'm actually quiet and I'm just like, solemn, I get, is something wrong? And people don't understand, behind like every big smile, there's a lot of sadness. Because like, for me, I prefer making people, I'm a people person. I want to help people. That's the point of my future. That's why I want to have my own show. It's not to have my own show because I like cameras. I want to have my own show because I want to talk to people. I want to hear your story. I just want people to vent. Because when something goes wrong with you and you sit down with your friends and you vent to them and you're like, oof, that felt better. That's what I want people to just come and do that, with me. And I believe it's very, very important to have the right people around you. Because, like, when you have the right people around you, you can be somebody if it's like a biblical friend, you start saying, what, can you tell me more about the Bible? Because you're always praying for me and I feel better. Can you like talk to me? You start doing the right things because of the people you're around. So it's having those right people, is also just checking. Mental health is a big thing. Just saying, you know what, do you want to go out? Because somebody may not be suffering from anything, but they just want sometimes to just be, feel included. They want to feel like somebody remembers them. You can be like, you see everybody every single day, but there's one person you always want to speak to you. So for me, it's like, my life is a testimony, and because of that, because I know what I've gone through and how even the things I still go through and how like I still bounce back up, I want to still, I want to give people that feeling as well. Are you ready to answer?
Yeah, that's real. Preach, preach, preach. Any last thing I'd like to say? I think I know. I share a lot in what you said, just in the sense that I know what I've gone through, and I know at different instances in life, I know what I wish I had, in different areas of my life. So I even just now, for the rest of this year, like I always try and give people what I wish I had. Whether that's like just being there for someone to talk to, or when I started out in fashion, I didn't really have like any real mentor until later on. And so whenever anybody comes and asks me for advice, I always try and make a conscious effort to transfer as much as I can, just because I know how beneficial that can be. And how much impact it can have. Just that nice feeling of there's somebody who actually is dedicated to doing this for me, and I'm not even doing anything for them. It's like, what sort of drive pushes somebody to that? And I've experienced that. I know what that is like, and I would love other people to experience that as well. I hope you experience that with me. But yeah.
So join us to our final question. This is how we'll end every single episode. This is like the breakthrough question: is it okay? Is it truly okay not to know? Not saying that is it okay not to have any plan at all, obviously, but is it just okay just not to know your next step at least?
100%. Not knowing is the best way to go about life, because it means you're an open book. Anything, you're open to every experience, anything, and you don't know what doors that opens up.
There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Do not despise the days of small beginnings." And with that verse, it is most definitely okay not to know, because not knowing is the first step. And then you discover, and then you gain mastery. And then before you know it, you have an empire. So as long as you're always conscious of your targets and you hit the ground running every morning, you eventually know.
Okay, so thank you guys for being here. I thank all of you guys for being here for the first ever episode of, It's Okay Not to Know. And we hope, we're going to get many more episodes. And, see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Very much.
So, okay, I have a question for everybody, but it's the same question I asked some weeks ago. What was the one thing you wish for everybody here? After graduation, if it's 10 years down the line, that you hope you see for everybody here. Liisbet, let me go.
Well, I obviously hope everybody gets to do what they want to do. So gets to use their degree and their portfolio and get a job in something that they actually want to do. Not just have to do for money.
I hope no one ends up in a bad. No, I hope no one gets chased by the paparazzi or end up with a controversial news article about them. I want everyone to have good lives. You all deserve it.
Because that's actually a real issue. Solmaz.
I wish just everybody find a good job. Director for Liisbet.
Why do you keep saying that? Why does everybody keep saying that?
Presenter. Famous presenter. I don't know about Rohan.
I don't even know.
Editor? Yeah. Maybe. And Tremaine. All the best for you. I don't know. What do you want to do in future?
It's fine.
Rohan?
Yeah, I just hope everyone's successful after this. Just goes on to do big things. I want to see you guys at like Met Galas and stuff. Liisbet's like, nah, maybe or whatever. Okay, fine, whatever red carpet you want to go to, I want to see you there. No,
maybe. We'll see.
Award shows, etc. I'm trying to see all of you guys there.
Yeah, that's the same for me, because I want to be able to say, I have my own show But oh yeah, I need somebody to help me edit. Oh, I know Solmaz. I went to university with her. You know, I want to be able to call Solmaz to edit my show, or call Liisbet, tell me to write the scripts because she's good at writing, or Tremaine to help me run my show. You know, and just Rohan to do everything because Rohan just does everything, bro. He sets up, he speaks, he does everything. So I want to in 5 years down the line still know that you guys are still doing what you want to do. Like Liisbet said, using your degree for what you want to use it for and not just working because you need to live. So yeah. Host.
This was nice.
That was very nice, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know?
I'm not sure how I should close this. I think I'm just
Yeah.
going to fade it out as we
Yeah.
just fade it.
Cheerio.
Yeah.
Wait,
No, hello?
we should do
Or say-
bad British accents.
What?
Huh?
Bad British accents.
Bad
yeah,
British
yes,
accents.
Tremaine,
Yes.
Tremaine.
It'll be
What?
funny.
But you're British, all of you.
We can
you're
do bad British ones.
You have a British accent.
I know.
I would have
Cheerio.
faded out by now.
This is the fading out bit.
Yeah.